What's up? My name is Divested Wife, and today I want to talk about this video that kept popping up in my YouTube recommendations. So I clicked on it and watched it, and I was blown away. Like, I couldn't believe that this actually happened in real life. But this rich white woman actually sold her possessions and flew out to Africa and fell in love with a Zulu warrior. Okay? Like, she literally dumped her wealthy, handsome, rich fiance for this Zulu warrior. And before I even looked at the video, in the back of my head, I was thinking, there's no way that this ended well. And of course, I was right. So let's watch this video, and I'm going to give my commentary and opinions in between. Let's get started.
A young and successful businesswoman from Switzerland came to Kenya for a vacation and fell in love with the Samburu warrior. For the sake of love, she gave up everything and settled in a hut in the wild jungle.
Girl, stop the cap, okay? Take the cap off and put it aside, please, because you did not fly all the way to Africa just for no love. No, you're down there for some BBC, all right? You fetishized for that. That's what you wanted, okay? You was twiddling with your taco, looking at National Geographic magazines, probably in your bathroom when you were a teen or some shit, bitch. Your ass already had a fetish for that shit, bitch. Fuck out of here. Trying to talk about she flew overseas for love. No, she flew overseas for some BBC. You went from living in a big ass mansion in Sweden to living in a dirt house, a fucking hut, probably made of poop or whatever they use. They use poop, cow dung, and all kind of. Girl, I be like, take me back now. Man, you can take this bowl of rice, you can keep it. I don't want it. They laying they dusty, crunchy ass feet right next to the food and shit. Throw that shit right up on that fucking roof, bitch. Where's my passport? I'm going home.
Corinne Hoffman was an ordinary European girl. Her father was German and her mother was French. She grew up in Switzerland and led a prosperous life.
If you're living in places like this going, I need to get away and this is not good enough, then I would question your sanity, because Sweden is a literal paradise on earth. Look at this video of Sweden. Does this look like a place that you need to divest from, like you need to run away from? It's so terrible. Look at all these birds and flowers around. Oh, I can't stand it. I need to divest and go to Africa to find happiness. Girl, you were living in paradise, okay? You should have stayed your ass right over in fucking Switzerland. Look at this video. Look at this Becky. La, la, la. Motherfucking waterfall in the back and shit like that. I thought this video was fake. Nope, this is a real location in Switzerland. And here you is going, nope, this ain't good enough. I can't stand all these birds tweeting and all this shit. Girl, bye, okay? And don't even get me started on their chocolate. They have award-winning chocolate. Sweden is renowned for their chocolate. Like, girl, you have nothing to divest from, all right? Got the world's best chocolate. Like, girl, and don't even get me started on the men. Swedish men are some of the most attractive men on the planet. They're tall. They're Model-esque looking. Like, they got blonde hair, blue eyes. Like, if your men looking like this and you going, I need me a black African king in order to be happy, I'm going to look at you and go, Susan, did you take your medication this morning? Because you sounded a little mentally unstable.
Make sure you take these with food and water. You cannot snort these, okay? Yeah.
The girl was very beautiful, wealthy, and had great prospects for the future. Slender, tall, blonde. She had many fans. Corinne dated Marco for almost 2 years. He was a guy from her social circle, the same handsome and wealthy person. They could get married and be happy. However, such a life seemed so boring to the girl.
You bored, eat an apple. Read a book. Get a cat. All right? Ain't no excuses to be bored. You bored, then you got too much time on your hands. Going to Africa so you can swirl is not the answer.
In 1986, the couple went on vacation to Kenya. At that time, Corinne was 26 years old. It was a great time. They enjoyed their vacation and learned a lot about Kenyan culture. One day, they accidentally met warriors from the Samburu tribe. Among them was a warrior named Elketinga. He was the tallest, strongest, and handsomest.
Stop the camera. He's so tall and dark and handsome, and he was just the most good looking and all this stuff. And I'm like, I can't see it. He looking like a regular ass nigga to me. He ain't looking nothing special. I've seen motherfuckers working at Popeyes that look just like him. So I'm not impressed.
Corinne thought a lot about him and soon fell in love. It seemed kind of crazy. What could they have in common? They were people from different worlds.
I don't know why this mammy's sitting up in here going, what do they have in common? Black men and white women have a lot in common, actually. They're both very feminine. They enjoy resting in their femininity. They need to be protected and coddled. Without the white man, neither one of them would have shit, all right? So yeah, the black man and the white woman have a lot in common. That is why you see these feminine ass bitches in the comment sections trying to compete with women, because they're fucking defeated and conquered, all right? They have more in common with white women, who is also a protected class just like they asses, than they do other groups of men.
He is a warrior from a wild African tribe. All this guy had was a red loincloth, some goats, and a jungle hut.
If he's from some exotic African tribe, then why he in a club dancing? Like, shouldn't he be like chucking spears and running away from lions and shit? Like, y'all are so quick to call these men warriors and all this stuff and kings, and these men don't got no accolades to back that up, all right? I ain't seen him chuck not one spear. He's sitting up in here in a club drinking mimosas and dancing. Ain't got no damn Zulu warrior. She got a Trulu warrior, okay? True value brand warrior.
However, Corinne didn't care. She fell in love so much that she was ready to give up her whole past life. The girl decided to break up with her boyfriend and sell her store in Switzerland. She sought out Ilketinga and confessed her feelings to him. The African could not resist the beautiful foreigner, and they spent the night together.
Ew, gross. You didn't even know this dude and you let him smash? You don't know if this nigga got motherfucking monkeypox or AIDS or any of that shit, bitch. You don't know none of that shit. You just gonna let this motherfucking random nigga from Africa smash you, girl? Okay. And that's why a lot of y'all are coming back with that package, all right? Y'all thought y'all were coming home with husbands and y'all coming back with that pack, all right? Going from thick to sick. Y'all hoes need to calm the fuck down and stop acting so thirsty.
But he could not even think that this girl could become his wife. She seemed too strange and incomprehensible to him. In addition, he didn't know who her parents were, and in Africa this is of great importance. But Corinne was able to charm his family and convince him to marry.
Y'all love to try to romanticize the fuck out these stories, don't y'all? Because you're not gonna fucking convince us that this rich white woman had to struggle in order to get acceptance from this family. I guarantee you she probably showed up with a bag of rice and a goat, and that's all it took to get her foot in the door, all right? Miss me with the bullshit. Y'all love to sit up there and try to romanticize it, acting like, and she had to earn her way into this family. Yeah, okay. I guarantee when she showed her rich white ass up to that mud hut going, I'm from Switzerland, and I come with chocolate and money. Can I marry your son? You know that black mammy got on her knees and went, praise Jeebus. Probably did a little voodoo dance in the hut and shit like that. She's happy because she knows that this white woman and her resources is going to transform her life forever. So miss me with the bullshit. You ain't going to convince us that she had to earn her way into this family. Shit. Her white skin was enough for her to open the door and let her right on in, okay? Soon as she came to that motherfucking hut, she goes, welcome to the family. Come on, sit on the dirt floor. I will make you something to eat. We have plenty of variety. I have white rice and brown rice, and one drinking cup that we share amongst 12 tribe members. But if you want to clean it off, you'll have to go to the stream that is a mile away from the hut. Just watch the lion on the left, and you should be good. Welcome to the family. Okay, that's probably what happened.
They officially became husband and wife and also celebrated the ceremony according to the rules of the Samburu people. Since then, Corinne Hoffman settled with the tribe in the wild jungles of Kenya. She had to abandon all the benefits of civilization. Together with her husband, she lived in a small hut made of dung. There was no sewerage, running water, or electricity. She had to go to the toilet in the wild jungle far from the village and wash herself from a bucket. There was no proper food and medicine.
I believe that the honeymoon in, the moment she realized there's no running water, there's no sewage system, there's no medicine, there's no doctors, there's no nothing, okay? Like, you literally left your men for these dusty motherfuckers. Girl, don't even get me started. Girl, I'm about to take my Bible and start preaching. And she had a good man and left him for a fucking dusty motherfucker in a Zulu costume. Girl, are you dumb? And now you're sitting in Africa with flies all over your face, looking all dusty and sad, bitch. I don't feel not fucking 1 ounce of empathy for her whatsoever because she chased that pipe dream right into dusty land, bitch, right into a dusty ass hut where she ain't got no water, no medicine, no nothing. I can picture her face right now when they told her that there's no Starbucks within a mile radius. Okay, she probably had a mental breakdown. If I don't get my pumpkin spice latte, all of y'all are getting slapped in this hut.
The couple began to have disagreements. Lukatinga was jealous of his wife and made scandals even if she smiled at other men.
Why would anyone be surprised that he's bitter and jealous of his wife, okay? Why would anyone be surprised? We see this same dusty pathology on the Western side of the world, okay? Anytime you got a man who is in competition with you, he is a weak, conquered, defeated ass bitch of a male. And he should not have access to you, whether it be your body, your resources, your time, none of that shit, okay? Because he's never going to appreciate it.
They grew up in different cultures. The African warrior is used to the fact that the man is the head of the family. Therefore, it annoyed him when Corinne opened her small shop in the village to sell basic goods and managed everything there herself.
They'll sit up there pretending that they're traditional. They'll sit up there and say the man should be the provider. The man should be the protector. But are they doing any of that? Nope. Because before she came on the scene, you niggas didn't have no running water. You didn't have no proper sewage. You didn't have no medicine. You didn't have shit, okay? So if you were such a traditional man, why didn't you build these things before she even came on the scene? It's because y'all don't have no motivation to build nothing, okay? Point blank, period. You think you'd be appreciative that you have a woman that has resources and intelligence and education to help your people. Nope. Instead, you sitting your dusty, broke, unemployed ass in your mud hut complaining that she's making you look like less than a man because she's working and she's self-sufficient. The fuck out of here. We see this same dusty ass pathology in black American men. They're comfortable resting in their fucking femininity and yet want to talk about, I want a submissive woman and I want to be the man in the house. If you want to be the man in the house, then fucking act like it, okay? You don't get to sit up here and cosplay as a man and yet here you is acting like a bitch. She's sitting here working 3 jobs while you sit at home playing Xbox. Talking about, I'm a king. Nah, you a fucking peasant. Just like these dusty African ass motherfuckers talking about, oh, well, we believe in tradition and we believe the man should be taking care of the woman. Okay, then do that. Okay, why is she working and doing all the work while y'all sitting around with flies on your face? There's no such thing as traditional black men anymore. It's just not, okay? If they existed, they long gone, all right? Because look at the situation with Gabriel. She's online crying, I got a scarcity mindset, and if I don't work, I don't know how I'm gonna eat. Bitch, why are you telling us that? Shouldn't you be telling your husband that makes more money than you? Like, why are you on Twitter crying and shit that you feel like your world is gonna collapse if you don't go to work? And if you want a black man, you best believe that you're going to be working and slaving away for the rest of your life. Even when they make more money than you, they're going to require you to financially take care of them some way or another.
Despite everything, they lived together for 4 years. In this marriage, they had a daughter. With each passing day, Corinne found it increasingly difficult to put up with life in the African tribe. She learned that the Samburu practiced female circumcision, a brutal procedure in which little girls' genitals are cut off.
If any of them dusty niggas came up to my daughter with a knife talking about, we need to remove her vagina because of traditions, bitch, that whole hut would be burnt down to the ground. And all them niggas would have spears in their head, bitch. You're not fucking cutting off my daughter's vagina.
All developed countries, this barbaric practice is strictly prohibited. Lukatinga believed that their daughter should also undergo this ceremony, but Corinne was categorically against it. Also, according to the rules of the tribe, she had to give her daughter as a servant to the husband's mother, and Lukatinga could marry several times in order to have many children. Corinne absolutely couldn't put up with it too.
You know this Becky's like, fuck you, nigga. You ain't taking my daughter nowhere. You ain't gonna have my daughter walk around with no vagina and motherfucking get married off to some random men to have fucking bunch of babies and shit. That sounds horrible. I don't want my fucking daughter raised like that. Fuck you, nigga. I wish I never met your dusty ass.
Katinga increasingly gave her scandals because of jealousy, possibly a side effect of his addiction to the herbs.
What type of herbs is he smoking? Because I don't know no weed with the side effect of jealousy. Get high, hungry, and a little sleepy, but shit, jealousy is not a side effect of smoking weed. So no, don't be sitting up there trying to blame weed for that. This is just a dusty-ass, hating-ass nigga.
And once he even stated that their daughter was from another man.
And this is even more evidence that these niggas all think alike because they are constantly denying the paternity of their children, okay? They'll sit up there and talk about, that baby head too big and round. That ain't my baby. Or, look at them baby's eyebrows. Nope, they ain't got the eyebrows like me. Like, come on, nigga. You know, y'all literally got to be dragged on TV shows just to get a paternity test. That is how much you hate kids and hate your own children, okay? Like, they literally do this to every race of woman they get with.
It was increasingly difficult for a woman to put up with such a life. She was exhausted by constant accusations. Therefore, one day she decided to leave the tribe with her daughter. Corinne returned to Switzerland and began to lead a former life.
Is anybody surprised at all that she ended up leaving his ass, okay, and flying back to Switzerland with her baby? All right? She was done with this motherfucker. He didn't produce. He didn't provide. He didn't protect. He was jealous. He was insecure of her, denying the paternity of their child. He pretty much checks off all the dusty marks, okay? And this woman has more self-respect for her and her daughter than to put up with that. So I'm very, very happy that she got the fuck on with her life. I just sit back quietly and just watch the fuckery unfold and just pray from a distance. I'm not going to keep throwing out life jackets and women ain't going to take them. Yeah, you just going to drown. And I'm just going to be like, oh, well, you know, what do you expect a divester to say when we hear stories like this, you know? Obviously, we're not telling you to divest for no reason. We're telling you to divest because the collective of black males are trash, okay? Dating these dusties is not an option. Can you imagine how wonderful she felt getting on that air-conditioned airplane and seeing people that are not covered in dirt and flies and wearing loincloths, everyone's dressed, you know, appropriately and stuff like that? You know, civilization is such a beautiful thing, and to take it for granted, like I'm pretty sure when she stepped on that airplane and that cold air hit her face after not having any air conditioning for many, many years, she probably had a little, like a splash of water, like, oh my God, what was I thinking? You know, I can't believe I did that. You know, that's what I would be thinking if I was on a fucking airplane after living out in the wilderness. She probably had a sigh of relief. And that is what divestment feels like. A sigh of relief, a breath of fresh air. It feels like freedom. It feels like liberation, okay? All of her problems being left behind her. She's leaving them dusty-ass men behind her, dusty-ass relationships behind her, putting herself first. And probably in first class as well, drinking some champagne, thinking to herself, what was I thinking, okay? But all is well, because I'm getting the fuck out of there. And us divestors, we represent the women that are on the plane flying the fuck out, okay? We're on the plane flying out. And a lot of you mammies got left behind. That's why you mad at us. Don't be mad at us because we put ourselves first and we flying first class out of this bitch. You're still in the shit hut with your black king warrior, trying to pretend like you having a traditional relationship, bitch. Meanwhile, your daughters are getting fucked up. Your legacies are getting fucked up. He ain't built nothing for you. You still living a subpar type life because he don't want to work. He don't want to produce, provide. When you divest, you leaving all of that behind. You're like the woman in the airplane. You getting the fuck on with your life. You're not turning back. This is a one-way ticket, okay? One-way ticket out of this bitch. And that's what divestment feels like.
In 1998, she wrote her autobiography, The White Maasai, where she spoke about her life in the tribe. The book became a bestseller and was translated into 30 languages. Since its first publication, over 4 million copies have been sold around the world. The autobiography was also made into a film of the same name, which was also a great success. The woman wrote several more books and became very popular and wealthy.
I'm glad that she took her trauma and decided to turn it into a profit, okay? Shit, a lot of you mammies are sitting over here still messing with Dusties and y'all ain't got no book deals out of it.
Today, Corinne Hoffman is 63 years old and her daughter, Nepirai, is 35 years old. The girl is so beautiful, Very little is known about her life. We only know that she grew up in Switzerland, studied at college, and only visited her father's tribe when she was over 20 years old. Corinne allowed her daughter to go on a trip and see her father only after the age of majority, as she was afraid that her father might not let her go back.
I think it's incredibly stupid for her to take her daughter in that environment, especially knowing what we know now. You know, there's no need for you to even be back over there, okay? These men are not the type of men that you want to fuck around with, dump them, and then try to go back to talk to them, bitch. You're lucky you didn't end up dead. Real talk. Like, if this was any other normal situation, he probably would have toe-tagged her and the daughter, okay? So, no. Do not think that you can go back and be socializing with these motherfuckers when they show you who they are.
Corinne helped financially ex-husband and his entire family. However, she could not return to him as she realized that they were too different to be together. And recently she found a new love. Her man is European and together they travel a lot.
Whatever happened to that once you go black, you ain't going back bullshit, okay? She came running back into the arms of a Brad, all right? Like, y'all can miss me with that. Once you go black, she ain't going back over there. Yeah, right. As soon as her relationship imploded with that dusty-ass motherfucker in Africa, she went right back to a white man because she knows her men are better than you, okay? Going from sucking on musty, tribal, unwashed ping to laying next to this Brad every night, you know, smelling and looking all good and shit like that. D probably tastes like water, okay? My husband has impeccable hygiene. Every time he wakes up in the morning, he is in that shower the first thing in the morning. I ain't got to tell him shit. You go over to Africa, these unwashed, musty motherfuckers ain't bathed in fucking weeks and shit and be having their dicks out expecting you to suck on it. And they act like that in the West, too. Unwashed, musty motherfuckers. Ain't nobody want your PVC. Y'all, ugh. Look at that. I'm going to throw up in my mouth just thinking about this shit. Yeah, so she went from sucking on musty, unwashed tribal peen and getting her a white zaddy, and I'm very proud of her, okay? And I'm also very proud that she's 63 and found love again. She's not subscribed to the whole notion of hitting the wall, okay? Which is a notion that comes from the red pill black manosphere, where they love to tell black women, oh, you hit a certain age, you hit the wall. You ain't never gonna find a man and you gonna die alone and all this shit. Meanwhile, statistics show that women are not the ones that are having problems moving on or finding love. You motherfuckers are. You the motherfuckers that are dying alone. Shit. This Becky is not subscribed to that shit. That's why she's 63 and found love again. And she found love in the arms of a Brad. Somebody that your dusty ass cannot compare to, okay? Major motherfucking upgrade. Good for her. I'm very proud of her. So that is all I have to say about this. If you like this video, smash that like button and subscribe for more content below. Have a good day.